Welcome. My name is Ginger Vieira. I'm the Senior Content Manager at Beyond Type 1. I've lived with type 1 diabetes for a couple decades, and I have the pleasure of today interviewing Tiffani Martin, who has also lived with type 1 diabetes for a few decades. Hi, Tiffani.
Hi, Ginger. How are you?
Good. Thank you for joining me. I want to
No
dig right
problem.
into your story. You were diagnosed at a very young age,
Yes, ma'am. 5 years old.
5 years old.
Um,
And how old are you today?
I am a very young 33. No.
All right.
Yeah, I've had it for some time now.
Okay. And so today you are the recipient of a pancreas transplant. You
Mhm.
are legally blind and you're dealing with dialysis.
Yes,
Okay.
June 17th, I got a dual transplant, pancreas
Wow.
kidney, and instantly I was still blind, but everything else just body just felt rejuvenated. No longer had to do dialysis, no longer had to do insulin shots.
Yeah.
I immediately changed my lifestyle.
Cool.
Um, I was already pretty active, relative to being on dialysis, but just kind of went vegan,
Wow.
working out. I was just really trying to preserve. Uh, During that time, got married
Wow.
January of 2019,
Great.
and 2 months later, we thought we were pregnant. And I'm thinking it's morning sickness and kind of worried because I'm like, we just got married, who
Right.
wants to do, and went in and they let us know that it was not indeed a pregnancy, but the early stages of rejection of the kid.
Ah, okay.
And so it was just kind of devastating, like, what happened? We did
Mm,
everything. Just getting through that, ended up back on dialysis.
okay.
So the pancreas still works.
Okay.
Diabetes is regulated. I still don't have to do insulin shots,
That's
but
great.
back,
That's great.
yeah, but I'm still back on dialysis, but still
Okay.
very conscious about what I put in my body. And
Okay.
when I'm not on dialysis, just trying to stay active, even though it's very taxing because
Yeah.
you're tired.
Yeah.
But I just want to keep my body in shape. So when I do get that call,
Okay.
we are just moving forward.
So you're on a list to hopefully get another kidney.
I am on the list, but there is a possibility for a living donor. But
Okay.
we are literally just waiting.
Okay. Where do you feel like your head was at in your teens and your 20s about taking your insulin? What do you think psychologically was going on for you?
I just wasn't. It was
Hmm.
like I'm doing the normal things a college student was, late night studying, all-nighters, drinking energy drinks, not eating. I'm like, oh, I feel sick. Maybe I should just take some insulin, just chunk some insulin, keep going,
Mm.
at a party, drinking, eating whatever. Oh, I might need to take some insulin, taking it, just it wasn't
Kind of winging it.
just winging it and just kind of like, oh, I've had it this long. I know my body.
Mm.
That's not it. You never should allow yourself to get complacent with relying on, "Nah, I feel this way. I can do no,
Right.
that wasn't it.
I mean, it's so hard to convince young people that they are vulnerable, right? That's really the issue is
Mhm.
that anyone under the age of like 28 has yet to realize that the human body is vulnerable, right?
I often think about this. Um, how do I persuade? How do I convince? Um, I walk around without my glasses so you can actually see the physical
Mm.
results of what happened. A lot of people ask me to, can you speak? Can you speak? And, I need to scare my kid into it. And it's not about the fear,
Oh,
it is an actual reality. If you do not take the 5 to 10 minutes to get, to work on the management portion, it's management.
mm.
Your life does not have to stop. It is managed. It is normal maintenance of your body.
Mm.
It's the same of being conscious of what you eat, working out, incorporate. If you do not do the due diligence, it is not a swift death. I mean, I hate to say it that it's not a one day, you live this great life and then you're just gonna wake up and pass
Mm,
away and feel no result. No, it is
right.
gradual, it is slow. You will feel and experience the wear and tear of what you did not do, the
Mm.
neglect. And it's not just you. Your family will get the grunt of that.
And you've had 8 surgeries on your eyes. Can you tell me a little bit about your eye journey?
It was 2015, and I had been traveling a lot that year. Just internationally, nationally, just traveling, very busy. I was actually planning on moving to LA. Um, got afforded a lot of job opportunities, and I came home um, and just started noticing flutters. Um, and it was in the left eye, and I'm like, "Well," I'm like, okay, it's stress. Maybe it's stress.
When you say flutters,
And
was it like you felt like your eye was twitching? Is that what flutters
no, it
means?
wasn't like a nerve twitch. It was more so like uh, seeing like a speck, like a little
Okay.
hair,
Okay.
just kind of flutter. And I'm like, okay,
Mm.
is anybody else see this? Is this something in the air? It was one of those. And
Okay.
so I just kind of like, chunked it up. Maybe I just need to get some rest,
Mm.
stress, whatever.
Sure.
And they just kept popping up. And one day I woke up and it was an entire red filter over my face,
Oh.
over my left eye. And I just, what is happening? I'm screaming and I'm like, hey, it's a filter. What's going on? I can't see. And at that time, the vessel had bursted. And what I was actually seeing was just the blood cell just burst. And it was
Hmm.
just a red filter. Started doing the injections. I know this makes people queasy, but I mean, I really want to be real with folks.
Yeah, please.
It's needles, flat out needle injections in your eye.
Hmm.
um, then it's laser treatments um, that are just direct electric lasers in your eyes to,
Yeah.
um, salvage those nerves. And then it just progressed. It was like that was, it didn't work. So
Hmm.
then you're going into full on surgeries, going under the knife. So, and it happened on both eyes. I think total was about 7 to 8 surgeries between both eyes.
Wow.
And the last one, there was just so much pressure from the surgeries that it was a choice of we can do this surgery, but it'll relieve the pressure, but you might not get your eyesight back. And
Oh.
at that time, the pain was just so immense that
Mm.
I can't really explain the level of pain. It was days where I'm blowing my nose and sorry to get graphic, but there
No,
was
no.
times where I'm blowing my nose and there's just tissue, just
Oh,
blood tissue coming and it's just from the surgeries or
wow. Okay.
the natural fluid from surgeries build up and it's just
Okay.
I mean I could not take it and once they kind of relieved that pressure it was almost like a relief of being blind because I don't have to go through the pain anymore.
Right.
But
You had to choose, and
yeah,
physical pain was far worse than the loss of sight.
yeah,
Okay. But and for some people that's able, I don't want to deter people from getting those eye injections because they're one of the most modern treatments, right? And for many that can stop the progression of retinopathy and heal what's going on and help people save their sight, but not necessarily for everyone. It sounds like your eyes were really working against you.
they were. And yes, by all means, get the treatment. A moment of discomfort is way better than a lifetime of being blind. I was just at the point, it just had progressed too much.
Yeah.
But there are so many success stories of the laser treatments happening. And you might not have to get as much as I did. It's just um, I had prolonged it and just let it advance to a point where they couldn't. But I mean, the technology is just massive at this point.
Yeah.
They have the ability to save.
Right. And what's so really important about eye health, and I have to remind myself of this, is it doesn't matter how long you've lived with diabetes and how long you've gone without any signs of complications in your eyes. The reason we need those annual eye exams is because they can start out of nowhere, regardless of your A1C, regardless of how healthy your diet is. And the sooner we catch them, because the symptoms develop long before we see them, long before you saw them in your eye, right? That little thing in your vision, the sooner we catch them, the sooner that the specialists can help prevent it from progressing.
As a kid, it's like, oh, you get sick, you bounce back, nothing really happens. You kind of, oh, I had a little scare, or, a
Yeah.
little stint in the hospital, but I'm back. But it comes a point where that bounce back doesn't come, and then the other things start happening, like, oh, this really is, something. And it wasn't until, and when I say it came all at once, it really did feel like just somebody hit a light switch, and it just back to back, like couldn't walk, stop walking. Then I had to get on dialysis. Then my sight went, and I'm like, where did this come from?
Right.
But it literally like a Thanos snap, it just like everything happened, and it just a snowball effect.
Sure. And the same can be said for kidneys. Is it's really, there's no symptoms until there's a big problem, which is why we have to go to that annual checkup and have our kidney function tested through urine samples. And I've read that the diet for someone, the things that can exacerbate or help a person who is in dialysis is really, it sounds even more tedious than type 1 diabetes and nutrition.
I mean, you are concerned about potassium, phosphorus, things that people look over on the like they're never looking at.
Think about. Yeah.
Yeah. And all the things that I enjoy are high potassium. So, you become a nutritionist, a doctor, and nurse all in one. And, can't eat too many bananas, not too many potatoes, tomatoes. And I'm like, these are all the healthy foods.
Yeah, all the real food. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
Okay. And just taking your insulin and checking your blood sugar every day is kind of most critical, number one.
Every day. It's just normalize it. You brush your teeth every day, check your blood sugar it's just normalize it. Figure out how to just incorporate it into a schedule to where it's just second nature.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know what else to say to convince.
Right.
I really want to shake people and be like, just don't go down my route.
Okay.
Just do what you need to do to live a great, long lifestyle, healthy, wonderful lifestyle with families. And, you don't have to undergo anything I went through.
Well, that takes
Everything was preventable.
That takes a lot of courage and strength to say. And I appreciate that message. And I really appreciate your time and sharing your story so honestly and openly.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Tiffani.